Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? Get hype, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Reading Between the Headlines. I'm Asaf Nisim, your host for Peruse the News, the live show where we catch up on the latest Chelsea news together, maybe some world football news as well, and of course, as usual, we live football and prosper, as one should. On the docket for today, first, we will take a look at our lineup predictions. We did put some time into those last stream and see how they matched up with the West Ham match day starting 11. Not the West Ham team, but the Chelsea side, because that's more what we're concerned about. Maybe in the future we'll do the opposing team. Maybe we'll do that, but we're mostly a Chelsea channel, as you could tell from the branding and the thumbnail branding. But next on the docket, we move forward. We'll reflect on the match itself. I took two analyses from Reuters and We Ain't Got No History, combined them with the magic of ChatGPT to create one mega analysis. I made some adjustments, and so I'll use that as a base for agreement, for disagreement, and maybe for some mockery. I don't know. Mockery is always fun. Next, after that, we'll check in on a few post-match reactions, including Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, the man of the hour, and, of course, Enzo Maresca. Sí, signor, Enzo Maresca, per favore. Lastly, we will head on over to the Daily Mail for Reveal. The threat. West Ham's Edson Alvarez shouted at Chelsea star Enzo Fernandez in ugly confrontation. Sounds juicy. As a bonus, per usual, if we have any time left, I don't like to keep y'all here for too long. I like to keep it short and sweet, but we're always open to it. If we have any time, maybe we'll stalk some of our favorite Chelsea player Instagrams together, current or alumni, before we close up shop. There's usually some opportunities for some mockery, for some comment perusing, and you never know, some fun stuff that we could engage on together. That is always a trip. But before that's the docket. Now, before we continue, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been here a while and you're just a stalker who doesn't actually subscribe, why not? Or like the stream, subscribe to the channel, perhaps hit the notification bell if you want to know when we're live. It's not always a thing everyone does. I'm not that type of person. I'm not often hitting the bell, but knowing when a channel is really engaged in live streaming, often you kind of might want to hit the bell. But most importantly, you want to hit that subscribe button, because while this is a small, little, itty-bitty channel, it's got some huge potential, and it's always growing gradually. Every time we live stream, every time we put out videos, we are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you wouldn't want to be left in the dust. You want to be one of those OG subscribers to the channel that will remember and have a loving connection with Reading Between the Headlines forevermore. And how do you do that? Become an OG, subscribe to the channel, engage in the chat. Because why? Because I love to hear your voice. It makes my day, makes my stream when I'm seeing y'all in the comments, engaging with each other, with me. Those are the best live streams. So yeah, get it done. That was a long one, but that is my marketing pitch. So that's that. Now, the first thing we'll do, we'll start the show off with the and we always do this, with the last stream's poll results. I like to put a poll to you every single stream, at least one every single stream. And the last stream was no different. I asked y'all, what will be the result of Chelsea versus West Ham this Saturday, which was yesterday, right? 84% of you said Chelsea win. Congratulations, you nailed it. 15% of you said West Ham win. Losers. 0%, which is nobody, if you didn't know that, thought there might be a draw. And then that little 1%, that those few decimal percentage points that got lost in the ether, well, they're just there in the ether. Okay, so now you have that. Now, since that's already there, let's put out a new poll to y'all folks, y'all good folks out in the interwebs. The new poll is, now, this is a gentleman that happens to be the talk of the town these days, and certainly the narrative has seemingly changed overnight with this gentleman among Chelsea fans, among news outlets. Well, I'll just get to the poll right away. For today's poll, how good can Nicholas Jackson be? How good can he be? A lot of people have a lot of different opinions, and maybe they're starting to change. But as you can see over here, I'm throwing that poll in there. How good can Nicholas Jackson be? It's good. Okay, great. So, yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? Now, some of you already liked the guy, many of you did not. But as I said, it seems overnight opinions are a-changing with this gentleman. So the first answer to this question, the first option is the sky is the limit. Nicholas Jackson can be world class. It is an option. The second option and choice you could select from is, well, he's talented, but his ceiling is elite. Elite. He can't quite get to world class, but he's an elite player, and he will probably, he can be an elite player at the very least. So I'm just going to, actually, that's too many characters. So talented, but his ceiling is elite. That's option 2. We're going to have a few more options. Option number 3 is he'll never be better than good. Now, you might not think he's good now. You think, well, at this point, you probably think he's at least good, but you might think that's his limit. So there's that one. The fourth and not final option is way overrated, average at best. Okay? Oh, I guess that's the only one I could put. Okay, so we'll leave it at that because I'm not allowed to have 5 options. I'm not allowed to have 5 options. My 5th option would have been mate. He's shite. Okay, but I don't, you know what? If you're saying that already, you're probably trolling. So we'll leave it at those 4 options. The sky's the limit, world class, talented, but his ceiling is elite. He'll never be better than good, and way overrated, average at best. Engaged. Now make sure you vote on this because the world needs to know. And the world is listening to reading between the headlines, peruse the news for our selective consensus opinions. Yeah, let's find out what y'all are voting. And then next stream, I'll do what I did this stream, which is post the results from this stream, and we will deliberate then, if you so choose. But as I said, we will move along. The first thing we will do is acknowledge Chelsea headed over from Stamford Bridge, not to Wembley, as in the chant, but to London Stadium to take on West Ham United. Many of us thought it was going to be a stiff test. Maybe the results said otherwise. We will talk about that. But what we did do is we did come up with a lineup prediction in the last stream. And I like to juxtapose that with what actually transpired, who actually took the field. And guess what? Guess the F what? We nailed it. Every single player predicted. Now, you might say, okay, big deal. You got him. All right, that was obvious. No. There were a couple possible changes that we called out, okay? We, as in me and whoever was in the chat, came to the conclusion, well, the back fours where we started, where you couldn't be sure what was going to happen, Disasi had started in the last league game, correct? Because both Reece James and Malo Gusto are out. So you might have thought that Disasi might start again, but he was taken off in the 61st minute. And it is a little odd to be taking a fullback off in the 61st minute. Look, it happens, and it doesn't always mean that that player is not going to get another start. Maybe it's a tactical change. Maybe it's just a slight personnel change based on the game itself. But I think many of us came to the conclusion that Disasi had a very poor game. And he hasn't been, although Maresca has kind of liked the guy and he did get some playing time in against West Ham, he did come on, which was actually a surprise to me. I didn't think his season was over, but I definitely thought this is going to be weird if Maresca puts him on. And so, yep, it turned out that way. We saw what happened when Disasi got pulled off in the 61st minute against, who was it again? Always forget so quickly, against Bournemouth, right? Yeah, but who came on? Tosin. Adarabioyo. Now, yeah, I guess he has Tosin on the back of his kit, probably for good reason. Nobody can pronounce the guy's name, including myself. Adarabioyo. Anyway, so Tosin came on, and against Bournemouth, he slotted in to center back position, and Fofana got pushed out to the right. So I thought, some of you thought, you know what, that's probably going to happen again. They looked better when that change was made. And we're going to have faith that Maresca is not going to play Disasi, not going to start Disasi after what just happened against Bournemouth. So that was that. We were right about that. Then we had Fernandez coming back from illness, and and this wasn't too hard to predict, but we thought, hey, you know what? Even though Vega looked okay coming on for Fernandez against Crystal Palace, it was just okay. It wasn't like, it's not like Fernandez is gonna be benched. So yeah, we assumed for Fernandez that we assumed the shape is gonna stay the same, and that Fernandez would come in and start at that central position, midfield position. Then the next, well, you could almost assume that Madueke would start on the right. You couldn't be 100% sure. He hasn't started every game, but he's been on a roll. He's been in form for the most part. So that was one you might have considered changing if you wanted to get a little swifty on that one. Palmer, I mean, unless an injury came about or something like that, you assumed he was going to play. He was going to start. So that was kind of that was probably the easiest one out of the forwards. But then there was Sancho. Then there was that left wing position. Sancho has not started yet. However, it was clear from Enzo Maresca's post-match after Bournemouth, he made very clear, or was it the pre-match? I think it was the pre-match. He made very clear that he's got two forwards in each position, because there's been this narrative. Surely it's been nagging at him. This narrative has been nagging at him about overinflated roster, and it's just every time he gets asked questions about this, right? But he made it very clear. I've got two players in each position. I've got, on the left, I've got not Pedro Neto, Misha, Mikhailo Mudryk. I've got Jadon Sancho. On the right, I've got Pedro Neto and Noni Madueke. Down the middle, I've got Palmer, Joao Felix, Nkunku, Jackson, and he actually failed to mention Guiu, but he did mention him later on. So he's very clear about that. And I'm thinking, first of all, why the hell does it always have to be left-footed players on the right and right-footed players on the left? I don't know why that always happens nowadays. It's kind of annoying. It seems predictable, but it is what it is. Now, I just thought to myself, okay, well, if that's how he's thinking, that's how I made that decision. I was like, if that's how he's thinking, he's not thinking Pedro Neto is on the left, and he's just thinking he's basically deciding between Sancho and Mudryk. It's gonna be Sancho, and he's probably not gonna use a player he sees as a right winger, as he's been using him on the left ahead of Mudryk, which isn't a lot to say about Mudryk, isn't it? That says a lot about how he feels about Mudryk. The fact that he didn't even he doesn't view Pedro Neto as a left winger. He views Pedro Neto as a right winger, and he's still starting him ahead of Mudryk every game. So there's that. And I don't think anybody really disagrees with him on that one. But so we guessed it was Sancho. We were right about it. And then there was always the question. It's been I should probably hang over here a little bit. It's been a question. A lot of people have been talking about it. Is Nkunku going to start at the 9 spot? Is it going to start happening? And I just didn't think it was going to happen, honestly. I just thought, no chance. He likes Jackson a lot. It's not like Jackson's been super underperforming. Definitely not in terms of the stats. I mean, he's doing all right. We all have our opinions about him, and I could go into a diatribe about how I feel about Jackson, and maybe I will, and maybe I won't, and maybe I'll save it for another day. But I didn't think so, and got it correct. 100% correct. Player for player, position for position, everything was correct. So kudos. Clap it up. Clap it up. We did it, folks. We did it. We made it happen. All right. That said, we will move on to the game itself. There's so much to be said about this game, but I'm not your tactical expert, but we could talk a little bit about that. But more importantly, I do want to sort of I would say my theme is I don't know how convincing it was. Again, I don't want to be a pessimist or anything like that, but I'm happy with the scoreline, super happy with the scoreline, super happy with the scoreline. However, I don't want to be celebrating just yet, folks. Okay, so that said, let's continue. The next part of this show, I wanted to read my mega analysis that I ChatGPT magicked. And I changed some things, obviously, but it's like my own little unique article now that we will use as a starting base for commenting on what actually transpired in this game. Folks, you probably saw it. If not, here we go. Chelsea continued their strong start under new coach Enzo Maresca. Strong start? I don't know. We said before the game that perhaps this game would be determinant as to whether this was a strong start for Chelsea. But anyway, moving on. Earning a convincing 3-0 win over London rivals West Ham United on yesterday. Nicholas Jackson was the star of the show, netting twice in the first half and helping to set up Cole Palmer for the third just after halftime. This marks Chelsea's third consecutive away victory following their recent wins at Bournemouth and Wolverhampton Wanderers and propels them into second place. It's not second place anymore in the Premier League before the weekend's other matches. As you can see, we are in fifth place. Yes, fifth place. Not bad. If I would have asked Chelsea fans before the season started, and maybe it wouldn't have been a thrilling projection, but fifth place would have not been too shabby considering, well, we ended up in 6th place last season, but I think before that it was 12th or something really, really embarrassing. I don't remember. Moving on, the game started very well for the Blues as Jackson capitalized on West Ham's defensive lapses to score after just 4 minutes. Sprinting down the wing, he cut inside unchallenged and fired a low shot past Alphonse Areola. Now, for me, this was actually really poor from West Ham. It wasn't just a defensive lapse, okay? Jackson, it was a free kick. Jackson stepped up to it, took the free kick quickly, hit Jadon Sancho, and then Sancho combined and put the ball down the wing. Jackson was off immediately, sprinting, and picked up the ball beautifully. Came in from the left-hand side of the goal, and then he 5-holed Areola. It was a beautiful finish, really. I mean, it was well done. It was the finish of a confident striker, which you might question. You might have questioned before yesterday, but after yesterday's performance was a confident one from Nicholas Jackson. And Chelsea's confidence was clear. They doubled their lead in the 18th minute when Moises Caicedo found Jackson in space, allowing the Senegalese striker to finish coolly once again. For me, let's be real, this was one of Caicedo's best offensive contributions this season. It's his first assist. He doesn't have a goal, but it's his first and only assist. It was a great ball down the middle of the park, cutting through West Ham, and perfectly weighted for Jackson to run onto it. But again, where the F were West Ham? You could say beautifully done by Caicedo, but that was a big old gap there. It was another, like West Ham weren't there on the first goal. They were quick. They were very slow to react to Nicholas Jackson taking that ball quickly. And again, the second goal, there was a big gap in the middle of the park, whether that be, the commentator mentioned how Cucurella had moved into the midfield and drew out, and him making that movement drew out some West Ham. I didn't even feel like it was that. I felt like the West Ham players were out of position. There were just huge gaps in their entire formation off the ball. So, I mean, those first two goals, you have to say immediately, it was like West Ham more effing up. Again, Jackson finished it, and then twice, right? Quite well. But at the same time, it was probably maybe a little bit more West Ham being absolute garbage. If I'm a West Ham fan, I'm upset with those first two goals, okay? I am not happy about that. West Ham began to find their rhythm after a slow start, with Robert Sanchez called into action a few times, and Mohamed Kudus had a goal ruled out for offsides. There was also a moment of controversy when Wesley Fofana appeared to tug on... the hell is Somerville's first name? What the hell is Somerville's first name? Crysencio. Crysencio, Jesus. All right. On Crysencio Somerville in the box, but the referee waved away penalty appeals. Chelsea started the second half in similar fashion to the first, with Jackson setting up Palmer for a third goal just minutes after the restart. Now, Palmer's finish was actually quite nice off the post, but honestly, this was also more of West Ham being very poor. West Ham attempted to respond, but Chelsea's defense, marshaled by an inspired Sanchez, held firm. They did have a lot of shots on target, more than us, which I will get into a little bit later. The Hammers had few clear-cut chances, with their best opportunity coming from a tangle involving Somerville and Fofana that could have gone either way. Maresca's reshuffled lineup didn't miss a beat, even with several notable absences. I don't know what they're talking about, honestly. Oh, well, yeah, the absences that we know of. Jadon Sancho made his first start for the club, while Tosin, let's just go with Tosin, debuted in defense, and Fofana filled in at right back with Reece James and Malo Gusto both sidelined. We know about all those. Despite these changes, Chelsea's fluid passing and sharp finishing allowed them to control the game. Jackson's brilliance was matched by solid performances from Cole Palmer and Robert Sanchez, whose saves ensured a clean sheet. Our second clean sheet of the season. Yay! 2 clean sheets in a row. That is actually nothing to be scoffed at. You could say a lot of things about this game, but one thing that probably is one of the big pluses here is another clean sheet. It really matters. For West Ham, it was a day to forget. Despite some bright moments, including Somerville's energy on his first start, the team struggled to threaten Chelsea consistently. This was interesting. Boos, if you didn't watch the game, boos rang out from the home crowd at halftime, and frustration grew when coach Julian Lopetegui replaced Somerville with Mikhail Antonio in the second half. West Ham captain Jared Bowen lamented their performance post-match, calling the goals gift and admitting his team was never in the game. Have to agree with Jared Bowen. West Ham were garbage. I'm not surprised he lamented their performance in the post-match. We could watch that, but we're probably not going to watch that today. But yes, again, was this a game of Chelsea playing really well? Yeah, Chelsea improved. Chelsea always improving. And certainly, again, the clean sheet, big silver lining. Well, I shouldn't say silver lining, big positive. And Nicholas Jackson looking like a really confident, exciting striker even, you could say. Those finishes were great, especially the first one, 5-hole like that, coming in from the left. The second one, with the outside of the boot, curling into the far corner. Yeah, those were clinical strikers finishes, which let's not take for granted right now, because we've had a lot of Nicholas Jackson big chances go missing, okay? That much is obvious, okay? With their latest victory, Maresca has become, I don't even like this line. However, Maresca was quick to downplay suggestions that Chelsea, and we will move on to seeing this press conference. And in line with what I was just saying about this game, let's reserve our excitement here. I mean, let's be excited. Let's enjoy the moment. But reserve excitement here, okay? Don't fall into that media trap of thinking, oh, we're just going to win the league now, guys. Although, let's stay positive and optimistic at the same time. Flip-flopping here, but those are my feelings. Those are my emotions. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just reserved excitement, okay? Because we have so much more to do. This is not what I call... This is, okay, you could call it a dominant performance, but was it really? Was it Chelsea being dominant, or was it West Ham being crap? And Chelsea, being a little better. Nicholas Jackson showing up, and a couple of the boys doing the job, and a couple of other boys having some good moments too. Okay. Well, Enzo Maresca, as we will see, says, I think we are improving in many things. Even if today we could attack better, we could defend better, especially we could manage the game much, much better. But overall, I think we deserve to win the game, and I'd have to agree with Maresca. Yes, good. This victory puts Chelsea in good stead ahead of their next challenge, a League Cup third-round match at home against lower league Barrow AFC, with their attacking form in full swing and defensive resilience holding firm. Chelsea fans can look forward to more progress under Maresca as the team continues to gel. Let's just hope that against Barrow we don't shit the bed as we have been doing with our B team, because I want to see our B team start progressing as well. I've said this before. The performances that we've seen in the cup games, obviously it's only been the Conference League, and it's been 7 changes. It's the performances have been so bad from our B team. It's really a reflection of the depth of our squad, honestly. So I'm concerned about that. I am concerned about the depth of our squad. This is a long season, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Anything could happen. We're already seeing the right back position in serious peril. Yeah, this Tosin and Fofana on the right seems to work. It worked against West Ham. It worked against Bournemouth for the end of the game. Things did get shored up a little bit against Bournemouth in the last time out when Disasi was taken off the 61st minute. But can we win all of our games with this setup? Like, I don't know. Maybe Fofana will do all right on the right, and Tosin will be great next to Colwell. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned that this is not an answer for long term, and hopefully we'll see Malagusta come back. We'll see Reece James. But again, there's other positions, and the way our B team looks, I'm concerned about the depth at Chelsea. Okay, moving on. Carefree, keep the blue flag flying high. Those are important things. Okay. So, right. Other couple things I wanted to mention about the game. Yes. If you look at the stats, what did I say? Here are my notes. But if you look at the stats, we had marginally less possession. Okay, let me pull up the stats even. Look at the stats, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, not there. The stats. Here they are. Okay. Yeah. If if you look at the stats here, we had marginally less possession over the course of the game. I know these are just stats. They're numbers. They don't say anything. We won the freaking game, okay? And this expected goals algorithm does favor us, like, largely. So that's something. But look at the shots. I mean, total shots, West Ham's 15 to our 12. Total shots on target, West Ham 7 to our 5. Okay, yeah, we had a lot more big chances. Great. We missed, obviously, 2 of the big chances and converted 3 of them. We had many less accurate passes. 444 West Ham to 393 on our side. Other things of note, touches in the opponent's box, they had a lot more than us. Passes in the opposition's half, they had a lot more than us. Like, these are things. We did win more duels. That's important. Maresca's been talking about that. So, I mean, these are all just little indicators. I mean, if you look at, like, when Manchester City plays West Ham, you know, it doesn't look like this, okay? And yes, we did do a pre-match here, and we did predict a stiffer test against West Ham, which is why I thought to myself, and I mentioned this game, a result in this game is going to say a lot about Chelsea. It's going to say a lot about our start that people are going to say, is this a positive start or is it a negative start to the season? Well, I thought this result did sort of determine, that you could say this is a positive start. But I did think that this would be a stiffer test, this West Ham side, and it was not. And you could see that we still have a lot of work to do based on what we talked about before, and a lot of these stats right here, a lot of these numbers, which are important to note, don't favor our team. Now, let's go over to them boys in the post-match and see what our boys had to say. Here we go. We'll check out Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson.
Chris is a Tottenham fan.
That was our Spurs fan producer. That couldn't have gone much better, could it? What was that like, celebrating with your fans just now?
Yeah, you know, it's good. Tough place to come, good 3 points, so yeah, we're happy.
Nicholas, great game for you. 2 goals and an assist. Talk us through that first
Excuse
goal.
the visuals, not my video,
from West
but
Ham,
it's what I could find.
Sense an opportunity just to get that early goal.
Yeah, no, they were good, but I saw the chance to run behind them, and then I gave the ball to Jadon. He gave me back, so I needed to
see if he's humble.
to score as early as possible, so we can control the game after.
Talk us through that celebration as well, bit of dancing.
Yeah, it's like to remember the legend, you know,
The Thriller,
Jackson, so
Michael Jackson.
I was dreaming about this.
Nicholas
so
Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Like 2 days ago, so I just did it. Yeah.
How good was he today, Cole?
Yeah, top. Everyone knows he's a top player. He just needs to keep going.
Is that right?
I'm sure he'll get better and better.
Does everybody know he's a top player? I'm sorry.
You know,
The current poll doesn't necessarily think that he's a top player, but okay, but you know, that's interesting. I would say that. Good on Cole for keeping his teammate sprung and confident.
players, we rate him very highly, and we know what he's capable of.
When you hear that, Nicholas, and you keep performing like this, how much does your confidence continue
For
to
sure.
build?
Yeah, he's growing higher with my teammates because
You look
they help me a
confident
lot,
today.
and they have confidence in me and me to them. So we just keep going, and this one is finished. So next week we go into another one.
Second half, the damage was done after you got your goal as well, Cole. What was that like, that feeling, just getting that early goal in the second half? Did you sense an opportunity to kill the game off?
Not really, but when I see Nico driving, I mean, if he got on the outside, he played the right pass, and
Not really.
I scored.
You gotta love Cole.
Looking at the squad as
Who
well,
doesn't
there's
love
obviously
Cole?
Competition for places, particularly up front. Was it important for you to get on the score
Not
sheet
really.
No. The most important is the team winning. I don't care about play or not playing. The most important is the team win. I'm happy to play always, but
What a
to fight for the
freaking
team and make the team win. That's the
legend.
most important thing for me.
There's been a
Anyways.
lot of
But to fight for the team and make the team win, that's the most important thing for me.
Oh, come on. He is always yapping on his Instagram and shit about how awesome he is. Like, he gets a tap-in goal and he's posting the tap-in. All right. I'm not going to shit on the boy for being humble in the post-match. I mean, at least he's being humble.
There's been a lot of noise about Chelsea this season, Cole, but 10 points from your first 5 games, that's pretty good going, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always going to be noise, but we try and block it out and do our stuff, listen to the manager, because, you know, we've got a very good manager, which can only help us get better, so we block it all out and focus on us.
And let's not forget, Cole and Maresca have a history. Maresca was at City for 2 or 3 years. So it's not exactly an unbiased opinion, but pretty much all the players I've seen say, this is a real manager here, Maresca. And I think we do get that feeling, don't we? The guy's opinionated, the guy's sure of himself, and he knows what he wants.
Well done to both of you today. Nicholas, you're the man of match. Cole, do the honours.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, thank you.
Bless you.
It's great. And you got to say, legend Joe Cole, you got to say, it's always great. It's always great, always great, always great to have your striker in form, especially now. I said this, I've been saying this since last season when I was saying it was negligent of the Chelsea administration not to have a striker on the level that we need, like an experienced Premier League striker or an exceptional striker from another league. Why? Because whenever you're going through a transitional phase, we all know, you and I know, that it's so important to scrape by points. You know that you're going to stumble. You hope that you're going to get a little bit lucky and that you're going to get through and pull and scrape those points by. Even when you're in a transitional phase, you know you're going to have slumps. You know you're going to have highs. Then you're going to have lows. But guess what? If you have that striker, the most important position, maybe the striker and the goalkeeper, right? I mean, look, you can argue with me on that, but the hardest part of the game is to score a goal. That is not very arguable, right? Everybody knows it. So when you have that world-class striker, or you have that elite striker with that Premier League experience that can scrape those points by for you, that's so important when you're a team in transition. So I would think that should be on a number one priority on the list for any club, especially a club going through transition. So I've been worrying about that. Last season, it didn't work out for us. This season, I've been concerned about it because, again, we're still with Nicholas Jackson. The talks where Victor Osimhen didn't pan out. Yeah, we heard from John Obi Mikel. He seems to think that it is going to happen sooner or later, maybe in January, maybe afterwards. And maybe it won't happen. Maybe because Nicholas Jackson is, well, look, if Nicholas Jackson has is in great form all the way through to January and we're flying by and scoring goals and getting points, then maybe Osimhen's not going to happen because there's going to be less of an appetite from this administration that isn't really trying to spend money. And we know that Osimhen's going to cost them money in wages. It's going to cost them at least probably £300,000 in wages a week to get Victor Osimhen. So that's what I think. It's got to. So maybe there won't be an appetite for him in January. But anyway, the point is like we do need that striker to scrape by the points, and maybe Nicholas Jackson will rise to the occasion. It doesn't seem everybody thinks that will be the case, even after such a great performance. You could actually, I think he did have a great performance. It wasn't just 2 goals and assist, which obviously it's going to be hard to say bad performance, but it wasn't just 2 goals and assist. It was a good performance from Nicholas Jackson. It was a confident performance. Let's not forget, he scored 2 goals and an assist and got an assist to Cole Palmer. And also he started off that first goal. He almost got his own assist. He's the one who kicked it to Jadon Sancho quickly, starting that set piece off quickly. Then Jadon Sancho just first time, just put it down the wing and he ran onto it. The point is that he had a great performance, Nicholas Jackson, and he did all that in 61 minutes. Because he was pulled off in the 61st. Was it 61st? It was 64th. Okay, he did all of that in 64 minutes. Yes, maybe he is that guy now. Maybe he is him for us. But you know, we'll find out if it stays, if he keeps performing. I think all of us Chelsea fans know. I think we all know that something's missing, right? When you see those world-class or those elite strikers, I think those seasoned strikers, there's something there that maybe Nicholas Jackson hasn't shown quite yet. I don't know. That's my read on the situation. So, and I reiterate that it's really important that we have that striker to scrape by points in a transitional season, because I think every single Chelsea fan knows we're just waiting for a big stumble. We're waiting for a slump. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not that cynical. I'm not that pessimistic, but you expect it in a transitional phase. Okay, so I'm just saying that let's cool our jets here, but let's be optimistic, and maybe Nicholas Jackson is him. And by the way, guys, now that we're in between post-match pressers, we did just have a good look at that. I just wanted to bring this up for you again. Why not? Do me a favor, do yourself a favor, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Why not? Maybe hit the notification bell to know when I go live, because I go live a lot. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel, because I'd love to see you here. I'd love to see you hitting up that chat and engaging with us. Haven't had so much chatter this stream thus far, but many streams we do, and it makes it that much more exciting. I love to hear your opinion. It's what makes my night. It's what makes my stream. And of course, let's not forget, you subscribe now. I know the channel might be small, tiny, but so much potential lies in that tiny little package. And you know, I know this channel is growing all the time, and I'm psyched about it, honestly. But subscribe now, and you get to be an OG. You get to be that guy that's like, hey, I knew that channel before it was huge. And so he's an OG, I'm an OG, and yeah, Asaf knows me, and I hit that chat up all the time. And yeah, I'd love to have you guys here doing that. I love to see you guys hitting the chat up. It's really fun for me. It's why I'm here, basically. So it's why I'm building this whole thing, because that's my favorite part. You might not know this, but you can set the settings, the latency on the stream, you set the delay basically from when it's filmed to the chat and how they relate to one another. And I always set it to the lowest latency possible, which lowers the quality of the stream. But why? Because it's more important to me that I get your chats ASAP, that I can respond to your chats as soon as possible, because that's the biggest part of this channel, and I love it. So now that is out of the way for the second time, and maybe I'll give you one more before the stream is over, we move on to Enzo Maresca. You know what? I didn't even watch this post-match yet. I wanted to save it for the stream. So yeah, that's where we're at, and we're going into it, and we'll react to it together. Sometimes I put it at 1.25. Yeah, let's just go with 1.25, because these, you know, they can get a little slow. So let's go with 1.25 speed. If it's too fast, I'll slow it down. But for now, we'll go with 1.25. See what the old Italian man, the old bald Italian man has to say.
Okay, good afternoon.
Legend.
If you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we'll look to get
Becoming one. Nah, he's great. He's great. Let's be real. I think we like him. I like him. I haven't met many Chelsea fans that aren't a fan of Maresca, so it's been taking a bit, but I don't think anybody ever said they disliked him, but I'm starting to really like him.
That's been done since Pep at Man City. You must be absolutely delighted.
He's got character.
Especially with the performance and the 3 points, that is the most important thing. I think also clean sheet, so it's been a complete
clean
performance.
Sheet. Second clean sheet of the season.
Davide?
Charlotte, the results and also the way you guys are playing, say this has been a very good start. What do you think is the key?
West
Ham were crap. That was pretty much the key.
Probably the way the players, they are buying the idea or the different style since I arrived has been top. But also I think the way we are working off the ball, today performance from Nicolas and Cole has been top, not only because they score, but we prepare the game as setting 3 against 2 because they build with 3 players, and we have said that, and the way they work off the ball has been top. So if we understand that we need
Let's not forget Caicedo's first assist of the season.
Probably
that was good. Good to see important. People be hating on Caicedo lately.
Thanks, how
but first assist for Caicedo. A lot of firsts, a lot of good moments for players. That's always important. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll rewind a second. Just say, like, those things are really important too, especially when we're still a little bit in the dark. There's still a lot of mystery surrounding what's going to happen this season. When you see Nicholas Jackson have a very confident game. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit. People coming in and out, so I want to make sure that get these across. Caicedo, first assist of this season. He's been up and down, up and down. People have had their opinions, okay? And another clean sheet of the season. I wasn't too psyched with Noni Madueke today. That was one of the downfalls in terms of player performances. Noni wasn't he's not going to be amazing every game, but you kind of hope that he keeps that momentum going and keeps performing every single game. He was kind of a wash today. What did FOTMob give him? What was their assessment of Noni? Well, they gave him a 7.4 at FOTMob, as you can see over here. 7.4. Look at that. The only person that got beneath, the only starter that got beneath a 7 on FOTMob is Fofana with a 6.7. Anyway, we go back to Enzo. We go back to Maresca. And not that FOTMob, means a whole heck of a lot, but they have their metrics, they have their metrics and they're worth something.
Was it for this performance given both Coronas were here today and have they
Both, sorry? Okay, yeah, sorry.
So how good a timing is it for you to put on this performance in front of your bosses and have they come down to the dressing room and have a few words?
I think not only today, it's always good when we win game for them, especially as you said, because they were both here. Probably we can give also them some good moment. And yeah, as you said, they were in the change room, they were all happy. But yeah, the results and the points, they are always important in our business for sure. But for me, the main target in this moment is to see how we progress as a team, and I think we are improving many things. Even if today we could attack better, we could defend better, but especially we could manage the game much better. Sometimes we need to give more passes, keep the ball, and we are in rush. And
we had less accurate passes than West Ham today.
I think we deserve to win the game.
Less passes in the opponent's
Can I ask about
half.
and some strapping on his knee at the end? Is it anything serious?
No. The reason why we change him is because, as already said many times, we try to protect a little bit him, and also because he was with yellow card. Then second half they changed Kudus in his side, and probably was a bit risk to keep him.
They're talking about
there is
Fofana.
not any injury. Wes is a player that I really love. I'm in love with Wes because he's doing fantastic after 1 year injury. And for any player in the world, when you are 1 year out and then you come back, it's not easy, and he's doing top. And this is the only thing we want from.
That's probably the strongest I've ever heard him compliment a player. Maybe it's just his rhetoric, but that's probably the strongest I've ever heard him compliment a player. I'm in love with Wes. He got the lowest rating, as I said, on FOTMob, as far as FOTMob's metrics are concerned.
Andy?
I need to ask you about a very serious topic now. Nicholas Jackson's goal celebration. Did you see it after the first one?
Dancing.
He's dancing.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it, to be honest. After the first. Hopefully he can dance more.
It wasn't very good. But
Oh, burn.
you said on Friday, you said yesterday, last week at Bournemouth, he missed a few chances, you still had faith in him. So how good for him today to get those 2 goals like that being his own?
Fantastic in terms of numbers.
He said he wasn't that good.
He's doing well off the ball again. He's working hard.
He wasn't very good.
The other day, if a player miss 1 chance or 2 chances, it doesn't mean that he's not playing well. It can happen. All the players they miss chances. The important is the complete performance. And against Bournemouth, it was a good performance from Nicolas. Then the last 10 minutes we changed something. Christo was inside, was top, score, win the game. And this is
I don't know if it was.
From
Come on, Maresca.
For sure. Yeah. Also.
Hamza, over to you.
And so you mentioned the owners in the dressing room. Was that before or after the match? And what did they say? Did they speak together?
No, they were happy after the game. Before the game, no, because we are preparing the game. But after the game, they were happy both.
Okay, last question.
A lot has been said about how many Chelsea players have come in, the size of the squad. Do you feel now that you're getting a coherent group of players, do you feel that sense of identity is coming together at Chelsea?
I think we are in the right path. We are in the right direction, but this is a long journey. Now probably because we won today and we are in a good moment, it looks like everything is fine. But as I said, not everything is fine. We could attack better, we could defend better, but it's just a matter of time. I said at the beginning. The
I
most
love
important
the
thing is how the player
honesty
they
there.
buy since
So
we are
true.
Here, the work together.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
There you have it. Reserved optimism is my sort of the theme of my reflection on the West Ham game. Reserved optimism. Good result. We deserve to win for sure. But let's be real. West Ham were not the stiff test that we thought West Ham would be. West Ham were pretty awful. If you're a West Ham fan, you're not happy about that performance. You feel that at least 2 of the 3 goals were total gifts to Chelsea. And that's my opinion. So, yeah, we're going to leave it at that. We'll move on. I'm glad that Maresca is on the same page, and that's what he is projecting. Hey, let's calm down here. I mean, maybe a bit of it is like expectations. Hey, guys, don't expect more than... don't expect some great revelation now. This isn't a revelation. This is a good result, decent performance. We're in the right direction. Good performance even. But let's keep our wits about us. So the last thing... I didn't even notice this in the game. I don't know if it was mentioned, but after the game... Oh, that's not the one. That's the one. Revealed. Ooh. The threat. West Ham's Edson Alvarez shouted at Chelsea star Enzo Fernandez in ugly confrontation. Okay. West Ham United midfielder Edson Alvarez reportedly threatened to kill Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez during Saturday's London derby. Honestly, that's a arrestable offense in this country. I don't know about England, but you can definitely be arrested for that. Chelsea won the game 3-0 with all of the goals coming before the 48th minute. We know that. Seemingly angry with the way the game was going, Alvarez fouled Cole Palmer shortly after the Englishman had scored Chelsea's 3rd goal. The Mexican was shown a yellow card by referee Samuel Barrett, but the drama did not end there. Moments later, Alvarez was seen shouting something at Argentina international Fernandez while secretively covering his mouth, as you can see over here. Da da da! Enzo looks so scared. So scared. Lopetegui says, a bad day for all of us. Yeah, it was a bad day. It was, again, I reiterate, West Ham being way awful and Chelsea being pretty good. But that's the assessment in short. Not a fantastic day, but some fantastic points, like a clean sheet, a confident striker for Chelsea, and a great result. Okay, however, despite Alvarez covering his mouth, some of his words were picked up by the pitch-side microphones. According to Argentine daily newspaper Olé, Alvarez told Fernandez, "I'll wait for you. I'll kill you outside, wherever you want." Fernandez did not appear overly worried by this alleged threat, and he defiantly responded by patting Alvarez on the back and telling him, "Go ahead." That's cute. Good for him. Good for him. Perhaps sensing that he was at risk of losing his cool and being shown a red card, Hammers manager Julian Lopetegui subbed Alvarez off 5 minutes after his booking. Fernandez stayed on the field until the 84th minute when he was replaced by Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Great game, boys. Okay, Chelsea have now won their first 3 away games in the Premier League this season, having already beaten Wolves and Bournemouth on the road. Well, that's that. That's that story. And that's interesting. But not much in it, isn't it? That is kind of crazy, though. How do you get to just threaten to kill somebody? I mean, you're down 3-0, okay, but, like, just threaten to kill the guy? That is very unprofessional. Very unprofessional indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now, you know what? We do have a little bit of time. While we're here, I usually like to go for about an hour. Let's check out, again, keeping it short and sweet, not trying to go crazy. Would have been nice to have a little bit more chatter, a little bit of chatting and yapping in the chat, but that's okay. We move on. We head over to Instagram. Let's check in on our boys, see if the celebrations are still active. To the stories. Nicholas Jackson, of course, always has a story. I'm not going to post too much of this. It's showing that's his 2nd goal with the assist from Moises Caicedo. I do not want to get flagged, so I will not show the entirety of that. But as you could see, it was a beautiful goal, ball down the middle by Caicedo. But again, a little bit of West Ham being garbage and Chelsea being good. I don't speak Spanish. No soy. This is from Kendry Paez, our young wonder kid in Ecuador. Some of my Latino friends have said the kid ain't all that in a bag of chips, but more than that, he is very subject to losing, to becoming one of those sort of getting too big for his boots situation guys. At least that's the way that they view him, and they think perhaps he will fall prey to the party and whatever else associated with that. Next, we go over to Jona Gallagher. Oh, he got another goal. Delighted. Oh, they did. Oh, they drew. What was the result there, eh? Why not find out? What was the result for Atletico Madrid? I didn't see that one. Rayo, but Conor Gallagher scored the solo goal? Conor Gallagher, baby, the equalizing goal. Miss you, bro. Honestly. Conor Gallagher, Dewsbury Hall. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. What happened? But to be fair, there were reports that he turned down a couple deals, a couple offers, so that is what it is. We move back to Instagram. Love you, Connor. I'll give that a little likey-wikey. Jona, miss you, bro. There he is. Good kid. Chaloba posting his Bible verses. That's always fun. I respect. I have no problem with that. I actually am a huge Chaloba fan. Huge relative to other people. So, yeah. And I'm sticking to it. Sterling playing against... I don't think... Did he play? Did Sterling play at all in that City game? I did watch it. Very exciting game. I don't think Sterling got a look in. I don't think he came. I don't think he got any minutes. But they were down to 10 men, so yeah. Was he even on the bench, Sterling? Yeah, he was. Poor guy. Number 30. Stayed on the bench. Okay. There's our boy Romeo Lavia training, baby. Can't wait till he's back, right? I mean, I keep saying this, but definitely one of the more exciting acquisitions after seeing him. I know it was just like a few minutes against City, but he looked great. Let's be real. Okay, let's move on from him, though. Not that exciting over there. Tammy, good old Tammy. They did get the win. It was 2-1. AC Milan beat Inter. Not that Tammy scored, but gotta love our boy Tammy. Christian Pulisic did score, though. Another one of our old boys. And U.S. men's national team. I don't know if you're a United States guy out there, but certainly big fan of Captain America from the U.S. men's national team. Scored one. There we go. There's the winner. Matteo Gabbia with the winner against Inter Milan. David Washington in training. Oh, look at Thiago Silva. Oh, is that an old one? Aniversario. Feliz aniversario, Omi. Que Deus... I can't read Portuguese. Come on, guys. But I understand some of it. I guess it's Thiago Silva's anniversary with the club, with his wife. I have no idea. Anybody speaks any Brazilian Portuguese there? Maybe you could tell me what the hell that means. Levi Colwell looking like a champion with our boy, Cold Palmer. Oops, skip. Oh, this is RLC. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We got a lot of Chelsea alumni at AC Milan right now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Tammy Abraham, Christian Pulisic. Who else is on that roster? Oh, Fikayo Tomori. That's 4 right there. Who else is there? They beat Inter today, yeah. So I think they got everybody. There's Inter, Pulisic, one. Oh, Morata. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of freaking Chelsea players. Pulisic, Morata, Abraham. Who is this Fofana? I don't know him. Fikayo Tomori, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, crazy number of former Chelsea players. They basically took our whole team. Yeah. Okay, back to the Instagram. But good for Pulisic scoring and for AC Milan getting the win over Inter, although I definitely favor Inter. I don't really give a crap so much these days, but just historically, Inter. I'm an Inter guy, but whatever. Wow, Thiago Silva. I mean, because it's anniversary. So he's reposting a lot of stuff. Let's go through Thiago Silva. I miss Thiago Silva. Come on, guys. Don't you miss Thiago Silva? I just thought we let him go way too soon. I know he was old, but he was still top form, and he could have been doing a bang-up job with the boys now, right? He could have been smashing with teaching our young Levi Colwill, young Wesley Fofana. He could have been there. What a guy. What a guy. Fucking legend. Everybody loves him. Look at all these. He's just reposting everybody else's stories. Everybody's clapping him up. Look at that. Look at that. Shout out to Chelsea. I'm so glad. I mean, so great that we just added to his legacy, and we really made the coup de grace of his career, if you think about it. Just like winning the Champions League. He got to the Champions League so many times, never won the Champions League. Never really played in the top tier league. He played in, not that Italy was never a top tier league, but I don't think it really was at the time that he was playing at AC Milan. And then going to PSG, that's not a top league at all. I don't think it's ever been really a top league, European league. And he didn't even win the Champions League, which is what he was there for, right? But, and there we go. That's our boy, JT. Have a great day, my friend. Oh, it's happy birthday. Okay, it's his birthday today. What is he, like 50? He's 40. Not anniversary. Yeah, it would be a little weird for people to all be dapping him up for his like marital anniversary. It's a little weird. But look at this with the Chelsea Foundation. He's just reposting every story. Ronaldinho. Look at the love this guy gets. King. Absolute king. If I wasn't such a big John Terry fan and such a Chelsea fan, I might go as far as publicly saying Thiago Silva, best center back ever to live. Okay? Now, a lot of people are going to hate me for that. Maldini, you're not a real fan. All right, guys. All right. Thiago Silva is like the most complete central defender probably in the history of the game because he has that samba, but he's also like IQ level 10,000. And do I need to explain that to you? No, I don't think I need to explain to you. Thiago Silva and the longevity of his career, let's be real. Holy crap. What a guy. Look at all that. Look at all this love. Crap. Banger. Love him. I'm a sap, all right? I'm a Chelsea sap. I miss our boys. Cold plunge. Still wearing that Chelsea. Still getting that Chelsea love. Why is he going in? Is he going in with socks? Oh, why are you wearing socks, bro? He's not even wearing them the whole way. What is that? Bro. Why are you wearing your socks half on in the cold plunge? Why are you wearing your clothing in the cold plunge? Weird, bro. Maybe it's a joke. Andre Santos. Apparently he's killing it at Strasbourg. And maybe it would have been nice to have him instead of paying for Dewsbury. I don't mean to hate on Dewsbury Hall so much, but hopefully picks it up. Hopefully. Kennedy. One of the guys I liked that never really hit it off at Chelsea, right? I don't know. David Washington, yeah, we saw that. Renato Pires. Mateo Silva. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Interesting. Gaz. Yeah, good. Good on you, bro. He was just on the John Obi podcast. Great performance, mate. Callum Hudson-Odoi, I've been following and watched that game today. If y'all watched that Brighton Forest game today, I had a bet on it. I bet on Forest, but it was a tie-no bet, so I didn't lose any money, but I thought they would win. I thought they would just pull it out. Good point away. Callum Hudson-Odoi has a little place in my heart still, as many of the academy boys do that go away. Where's this Caicedo? There you go. He posts his stats. Come on. Alfie Gilchrist. Oh, he's got a brother that's a boxer. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Good for you, Alfie. Tony Rudiger. Okay, many people not too attached to him. I'm not too attached to him, but I did like him as a player. He got a lot of crap. Mattson, don't care so much, but there you are. Essien, love you, buddy. Love Essien. If you don't love Essien, you're not a real Chelsea fan. Just saying. Okay, bunch of... That header, man, from this guy. That was maybe one of the best headers I've ever seen. The power he put on it. That game, you had to... I mean, far be it from a Chelsea fan to say anything positive about the Arsenal, but man, they deserved all 3 points today, man. The defending they put in basically a full half of defending, one man down against the best team in the league, Manchester City. I mean, when you see Arsenal give up 70% of the possession to Manchester City, and that was already the case before they went down a man. And then just defend the rest of that half. I mean, they deserve those 3 points, man. Jeez. What a game that was. And you expect it to be dead, but it was really actually... You expect it to be dead after that red card, but it was enjoyable to watch Arsenal just go balls to the wall and defend the whole game. And then they lose. They give up a goal in the last, minute of the game. Last 3 minutes of the game. They really deserved those 3 points. It was... What a performance. What a performance. Too bad. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? Pedro Neto. There you are. Connor. Lamps with Rodri. Why you doing that, bro? I hate that he went to City, honestly. It still bugs me. Still bugs me to this day. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll call it that. It's been a great show. Appreciate y'all coming by. Anybody that's around, just one last time before you go, why not like the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you care to know when we go live, because we do be going live a lot lately. That said, again, more importantly, hit the subscribe button so I can see in the future, maybe engage in the chat. I love to see it. That's what this channel is all about. And I've said it already a couple times this stream, so I won't lay it on thick again before we say goodbye. But show up next time. We're going to do this stream more often, and hopefully you're part of the team, bro. And hopefully I see bro or sister or whatever the heck. Hopefully I see your questions, comments, concerns, passions, dreams in the chat. But until then, guys... Thanks again for stopping by.
But it's really called football.
Didn't mean to do that. That's not happening yet. I wanted to say thank you again for stopping by. And until next time, ladies, gentlemen, live football and prosper as always. Later, y'all.
Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer?